Alright guys, Hazink here, and I'm going to be playing a new game today on the channel called Street Fighter Duel. Okay, so anyone who has kind of followed my content for any period of time knows that in the past I've done like subscriber Q&As and stuff like that, and I've been asked before what is my favourite gaming franchise, and the answer's always been the same. It's Street Fighter. Ever since a young boy, I used to go to the arcades playing Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter Third Strike, all of them. I absolutely love the game, and I still play all of them on console to this day. And I have paid for and pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition of Street Fighter 6 for my Steam Deck. So when I seen that this game was coming out, it was definitely something I was interested in having a look at. I wasn't sure at first if I was going to cover it on the channel. By the way, I'm in server 60, so if you want to join and you can be friends with me on that server. I wasn't sure if I was going to cover this game or not. I decided to play it a little bit last night, and yeah, a little bit turned into a lot of it, and all I can say is it's awesome. It's great fun, and I'm just going to go over some of the things I like about it, and who knows, maybe it's something you'll decide to pick up. In the future, I'm planning to make content on this game, so hey, if you want to play it, join my server. Maybe I'll set up a guild, we can all game together. So yes, the game's got lots to do, right? From the offset, usually a lot of games kind of don't have a lot to do at the start, but this is kind of different, and for some people it might be a little bit, I want to say overwhelming, but it's really not. But to look at it, it does look slightly overwhelming, to be honest, okay? So obviously when you start out, you will be guided through everything with regards to tutorials and stuff like that. So it'll take you where you need to go, it'll take you to like your challenge stages and stuff like that, it'll show you how to do training and stuff. I'll do a very quick overview so that you can get an idea of how it works. What I will say is, if you've played gacha titles before, so things like Dislight, there's actually, believe it or not, as much as I hate Dislight, there's some elements from that might seem familiar to you. The Gacha RPG even, you know, like turn-based battle and stuff like that, all of that exists in this, maybe with a kind of different spin on it, but at its core it's still the same thing. I hate to say this, but if you've played one, you've played them all. The aesthetic, the characters are really what's going to be what sells this type of game to you, okay? So first of all, we will go in and we will look at the kind of one stage, just so you can see yourself how battles do play out. Now, you've got two options. I've got it set to auto at the moment, right? Because to be honest, once you've got your team picked, until you hit a point where things become difficult, you don't need to manually play, right? And while I know for some people that might seem a bit, but really, is there much of a difference between you hitting a button or letting it do it automatically? I don't know, you can argue about that in the comments down below, but when things start to get a little bit more tricky, then you will potentially have to start thinking about, okay, do I want to pop this person's combo before that person's combo, so on and so forth. But until you really hit that, I want to say, difficulty wall, it's not really going to be a problem for you. Now, starting out, once you've picked your team, you will notice that it kind of uses the traditional system, rock, paper, scissor type system, where one beats one beats another, one's kind of neutral against the other. So, I mean, if you've played anything from Dokkan Battle to, again, games like the Sky or Dislight, you will be aware of that type of system. It's nothing new in this type of game. The main difference in this type of game is you get two other faction groups, which is Master and Inferno. Master is characters like, is it Goken, the Ryu Ken's trainer and master, and then you've got characters like Bison, you've got characters like Jury, who belong to the Inferno faction. So essentially, legendary characters are more like super rare good guys, and Inferno characters are more like super rare bad guys. Hopefully that makes sense to you. You can see here they do different things. So with Masters, they will basically perform bonuses to any faction regardless of the faction that they're linked to, apart from the bad guys faction. And the bad guys faction, the Inferno faction, they've got more set bonuses. So if you've got one on the team, you'll get defense bonus plus 15, 2, you'll get speed plus 10, which could be very important because speed does play a role in this game. There is certain stages where if you don't get the first strike, it could be quite difficult for you to beat. So having a fast team, having fast characters, or having a setup that boosts your speed could be vital to you in the long term. If you've got 3, then you get pressure plus 12, and 4 and above you get crit damage plus 15%. So you can see there, that's how that works. Now, how this actually works with regards to building your team. So if you look over here, you'll see that I've got 3 fighters using the same faction, and I've also got 1 Inferno bonus active, okay? So the reason for that is because if I just move, I can't really move them just now to show you, but if we go up here to Honda and look at the bottom, you'll see that Honda is lightning, and if we look at Blanca and we look at the bottom, we'll see that he is also lightning or energy or whatever. And then on my bottom row, you'll see that Mad Ryu, who's not quite evil yet, he is also of that same grouping or typing. So I get the bonus for having 3 of these guys, okay, and I also get the bonus from Bison being on my team. Now if I wanted to, I could do this, and what that'll do is that will activate my full bonus, so I'll get 4 fighters from the same faction, and I'll also receive the bonus boost off of Bison. But for me personally, I found this setup to just work better for me, and I'm able to get through stages. So you can see there that there is obviously team building elements to this game, and you have to put some thought into what you're putting together, okay? Now these characters don't just have your bog standard skills and stuff like that. I'm going to go in a minute and show you, but if we go to here, you'll see that they have these normal things like super attacks that you would expect to get in a fighting game. However, this isn't a fighting game. You've got your special attacks, which is like your combo attack. You've got 2 of them if you level the character high enough, but more importantly you've got passives, okay? Now Bison maybe has one of the best passives in the game right now. He essentially, if he's on your team and he dies before anyone else, or if he's not the last to die basically, he will revive essentially. He'll stop himself from dying, and he will not only do that, he'll do an extra special move that does more damage, and he is an absolute pain in the tits to deal with basically. The best way to think about Bison is he will keep you going, he will keep your team in the fight, he will keep you surviving. If you can pick him up, it's very solid to do so. The only way to do that right now is to get very lucky in the summons because he's super rare, or if you are someone who purchases stuff, you can buy a pack and you'll get Bison. I'm not going to say which one I done, but I've got Bison, so there we go. But yeah, he's very, very good. But if you have a look at characters, you will see, if you go into their kind of kits, you can have a look at what all the different passives do. Some passives are better than others. You know, again, some characters are going to be key to your team builds, some characters maybe are not going to be so key. Now, what I will say is, kind of having had a look at the Chinese version and how it's going and stuff like that, Bison, Chun-Li and Guile still seem to be very used, so there could be some long-term value in building those characters. I've not really dug into tier lists and stuff like that too much yet. I might do that actually, because in my head already I've got a bit of a tier list, but again, for more long-term value, people do like to know at this stage who's worth investing in, and it looks like at least Guile, Chun-Li and Bison look like they've got a good bit of staying power anyway, so if you've got those characters, they would probably be worth you putting your investment into. So enough of me prattling on, let's go in and I'll show you a very quick what the fighting looks like. Okay, now, so I've turned off auto at this stage, so with auto switched off, I can literally queue up the attacks I want to use, okay? However, when you've got auto on, what it will do is it will use the auto combo you set. So when we were loading in, you may have noticed that at the left hand side, just above the character selection that was running along the bottom, there was a little tab for combo selection. So you can basically go in there and you can either build your own combo or use a variety of different pre-selected combos. Some of those combos might work where, in fact, you know what, I'll show you right now. Some of those combos might work like, if you look here, you'll see, so the combo I use is AoE into a single target, into another AoE into a single target. Now usually, depending on what I'm fighting, Evil Ryu or Mad Ryu has got so much damage potential, he tends to just finish it off, you know, and I mean, to be honest, the team's got quite a lot of power behind it anyway, so sometimes he doesn't even get to attack because Chun-Li has got a very, very strong AoE, very, very strong AoE, and she's extremely quick. So the fight can half the time be over before Ryu's even had a chance to act, okay? But if you look, I can mix that up, right? I can have single target into AoE into single. Look, and Chun-Li doesn't even attack on that line. Same with the top line. I can do AoE into AoE, single into AoE. So it's a lot of AoEs, but again, Chun-Li is not attacking on that. So for me, I've found that this bottom one seems to work very well, and that's kind of why I've stuck with that one up to now. Now you can mix it up. You've got characters like Eddie Honda, who you can put on, who is a tank-based character, and he will obviously function like a tank. He will allow you to take more damage, stay in the fight longer, but he also has buffs that he can apply that can help out the rest of your team. So again, even though it's Street Fighter and you typically kind of associate, well, you don't typically, you do, you associate Street Fighter with side-scrolling beat-em-ups, 2D fighters. I would actually say at its core this is more like an RPG style gacha title, okay, with everything apart from aesthetic really, because Street Fighter isn't something you commonly associate with RPGs. Now, although the game isn't strictly speaking idle, because you can manually do the battles if you wish, you do get idle rewards however, so when you're not playing you can click this box and it will give you lots of EXP to level your characters. Depending on how far you are into the game, you'll get gear for your characters, quite a lot of stuff to just continually be making your team and your roster stronger, okay? So that's that part, that's me talked about kind of what the game is and how you play it, right? To be honest, like most games, that's pretty much what you're going to do on everything, right? They will mix up kind of how stages work and stuff. Like if we go and look at this here, you get this exploration. Now there's a couple of different things in here. You've got like this Supreme Fist, which essentially is a tower mode. You go all the way trying to clear towers. Each tower you clear, you get more and more rewards with clearing stages number 10, 20, 30, etc., giving you more rewards. Again, if you play games like Disgaea, Dislight, I don't want to keep repeating myself, you'll have experienced something like this before. I think Dislight's one's called the Temporal Tower, and Disgaea RPG Overlord's Tower I think it's called. I forget, it's been so long since they've updated that. But you know, if you've experienced these things before, you know what you're doing here. You'll be taking on more difficult challenges as you go along, but you'll be getting rewarded for it along the way. They also do have these other two things. Again, this one is very like Dislight. Unfortunately I can't really show you it just now, but you get a grid and you move up that grid, and when you're moving along the grid you get like 3 spaces or 2 spaces appearing in front of you, okay? And you can do things like you can borrow a character who you can use in your run. You can choose to fight a boss, but if you choose the boss that's on, say, the far left, that will enable you to, not enable, that will prevent you from getting maybe the step that's on the far right because you're too far away from it. You can only literally select steps that connect to the, is it a pentagon? No, it's not a pentagon, it's a hexagon. You can only, if they touch the hexagon, then you can select it. So if there's a line of 3 and you've gone too far over to the left, you can't get the one on the far right. So you have to plan where you're going, plan if you need energy, plan if you need revives, and along the way you'll get buffs, and this is like the battle boosts here. You select these battle boosts and they stay with you for the duration of the fight. So things like crit damage, things like lifesteal, all that type of stuff, you can build them up throughout your run. You've got 3 stages in total. You get a reward at the end of each stage, you get the biggest reward at the end of clearing all of them. Now this is something that you can do, I think it's every 2 days it says it resets, and you can save up these tokens. So I got 20k for my first run. If that's the amount it's going to be, then probably in about 2 weeks I should be able to get myself a copy of Jury, which is really good because she is one of my favourite characters in Street Fighter. So if I've not been able to summon her, I will pick her up from it in here. So that's good, and you can obviously get access to characters. I've already said to you that Guile does have long-term value. He's in here, so you could pick him up from this shop as well. Now there is obviously various other shops, like you can dismantle your trash tier characters and you can get better materials that allow you to gain better characters. You've got a guild you can join, which is obviously like a clan or whatever. Work together with your clan, build up points, and you can get more exclusive items from that shop. And it's got its typical shop, updates every 24 hours. Check it, because sometimes there'll be some stuff in there that's pretty good for leveling your account. So I feel like that's pretty much talked about the basics of the game. You've also got this as well, which is called Global Operations. Global Operations works a lot like the mode I just showed you there, except there's a lot more linear. You'll move through it and you will go from stage to stage. You do, however, build up your power by selecting buffs after each fight. Those buffs stack together, making you overall have a stronger character. But what these do for you is these give you these rewards, okay, which are called fighting souls. Now these fighting souls are essentially, I guess, what you could call a secondary passive that you can apply to characters, okay. So if I go in and I show you, I've got 2 at the moment. If I go into Fighter, I've got one on Chun-Li and one on Ryu. So if we go to Mad Ryu, you see that I've put fighting soul on him, which made sense because it kind of, you know, Kuma and all that, you know. So you can see here he gets attack bonus plus 4%, pressure plus 4%, base damage is boosted by 4% for every 15% of HP that the target misses. So basically if I lose 15% HP, I'm going to be doing more damage, and that changes. You can level this up as well. So as you go through the game, you will get access to these through doing challenges and divination, which comes later. It's not available yet because I've not gone that far. But you'll get these, and these allow you to level up your fighting souls, which again, just basically looking at how it operates, I'm sure you'll agree it's kind of like a secondary passive. While I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it on, or this is the one I've got on Chun-Li just now, fighting soul. It gives her speed plus 8, which is part of the reason I've got it on her, because if she's already fast, having this, making her act even faster, is going to ensure that I get the first strike a lot of the times, which is going to mean that my combo meter fills faster, and I'm able to unleash my super attacks onto characters and win the fights quicker overall. So that is pretty much a look at, oh sorry, one more thing. You've also got equipment. You can see here, got various pieces of equipment that you can level up. Most of the equipment I think I've just earned through playing the game. I've not purchased any equipment. Maybe I've got it as a bonus or something, I don't know. But you know, everything I've got equipment wise seems to have came through natural progression. Games like this, I mean, usually equipment gets a bit important later in the game, and one thing I did notice is if we look here, you can get special equipment. So you get this equipment here, tiger gloves. When it's affixed to someone who is part of the Inferno faction, it increases the element by 30%, so it makes it a bit better if you put it onto the relevant party types, is kind of the best way to describe it there. So all of that is pretty much all you need to know about the gameplay. When it comes down to leveling and stuff like that, you get EX moves. EX moves are unlocked and you can apply them. You're allowed to apply up to 3. So far I've only got 2, but through playing the game, through doing the daily missions, you do get these things here. You get one a day, and you can do draws on here, and you can build up the new EX move you want. You can select different ones. I'm just going for this one because I've got the character, so it makes sense that I get this EX move. I'm anal like that, so I want to do. I'm going to do it. You can also awaken your characters in here. This is how you kind of level your characters up. Very simple. First level you need a dupe. Second level you can use any dupe. Level after that you need a level to dupe, and then so on and so forth. I mean, to be honest, I'll talk about this in a minute, but the pull rates seem to be insane in this game, I will say that. So I'm looking to unlock this one. Limit Break, this is really good. This is actually really good. So essentially what happens is it sets I'm going to call them totems, I don't know what they're called, right? But you get these 4 characters at the top. They're my 4 highest leveled characters, okay? And when I've unlocked this mode down here, I select characters, and I'm going to use Guile, right, for example. So I stick Guile in here, bang. Guile was level 1, he instantly, without me needing any materials, becomes level 97, and now Guile is potentially usable. I can go and try him out, see what he's like, I can start leveling him more. Well, no, I can't level him. This is the only thing I'll say. When you take these characters out, they will reset to what level they were when you put them in. So essentially, what you want to be doing is you always want to be leveling your lowest level character. And what I mean by your lowest level character is from the set of 4 along the top. So right now you can see that for me, Chun-Li's at a slightly lower level. I want to push her up to say 100, and then I want to push up Wild Zangief to 100 as well. At that point, everyone below me will be at 100 because it will always match the lowest level character in this kind of thing here. So all of that is, I feel like, enough to talk about. Get the dojo. It's passive rewards. Go in here, unlock this. Passive rewards makes it nice and easy to digest. So when you're playing the game, you will have loads of things you can do. You'll have all these different things. You've got events running. I want to show you this though. I'm number 1 on the server. I'm the first person on the server to beat the challenge, which means I think I always stay here. And I was also the first person to, and only person so far, to clear 100 of Supreme Fist, which is really good because I get some really good rewards for that. And I'm now going to push on and see if I can get the first to be 150 and the first to beat level 1140 because the rewards are nice. But yes, you get all this type of stuff, and even if you don't get the top scores, you still get rewards just for doing these things. There's a puzzle that you do every day, gives you more rewards. You get your sign-in bonuses, get that every day. You're going to end up getting this Fashion Blanca. Awakening characters, literally just awakening characters. Make your way along this chain. When you hit the top, you get this chest. This chest guarantees you one of these 4 super rare characters, which is really good. I know who I want, I'm not going to say it. Desire sensor will go off. You might think you know based on what I said earlier, but you'd be wrong. So yeah, want to see who I can get from that. But there's lots of rewards. Now obviously I'm very aware that it is the honeymoon phase right now, and I've got no idea how this will continue, but right now it seems to be fairly generous, to be honest. Pool wise, knowing my luck, I'll do it just now and it won't happen, but pool wise I've pretty much had an A tier character every second pool basically. I'm going to use my 10 tokens on this video just so that we've got a summon on here. If it comes up red when you summon, you know you've got something. If it doesn't come up red, then you've got a B character basically. That's the best way to do it. Now I've said to you the pull rates are very good. What's going to happen now is I'm going to pull this and get nothing, right? But we'll do it anyway for the sake of the video so that we've actually got a summon on here, okay? So this is it. This is how we're going to close out the video. I am really enjoying this game. I'm going to make more videos about it because I'm having fun with it. So that's what we want to do. So anyway, we'll finish this off with a 10 pull. See if we get anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and blue. So like I said, I jinxed it. I says to you, the pull rates are very good. I will probably get something decent. And on this summon, I just so happened to not. But if you were to have a look at my box, you'll see that I've got an extremely high number of high tier characters. And it's because the game's just been absolutely chucking them at me. So yeah, do you know what's actually good? I needed a Cody. So this is positive. I can now take my Chun-Li to SSS tier. So this was a good summon. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. Make sure if you're new, you subscribe to the channel. If you are a long-term viewer, I'm going to put up a community post with my... In fact, do you know what? I'm going to do it right now. If you join my server, and if you want to play the game with me, I want you to take down that friend assembly code, which is 9BGGMIUP. We both get rewarded for it. Join me, join my server, and let's play together. Anyway guys, I've been Hazink, and I will catch you all on the next video. See you later. Bye.